still, you know, I mean, it's all together. It's functional right now, but it's not all polished up. So, you know, I gotta get some of the silver solder off here, and then get the brass all cleaned up, and then buff this all out. And this will pretty much, the leather, once I get the little oil on it, it'll pretty much be black, because I did this because, you know, Harley Davidson colors are black and orange.
Is that what it's patterned after?
Yeah, that's why I put the orange in there, and did the black. I'm going to do a black sheath for it too. And so he was telling his buddy about it, that was in this little club that Bikers for Kids with Cancer, and so this one's going to be a freebie, and usually, you know, I sell them for like $130, $140. And go from the transition to the leather and brass, or to the G10, and
I know, we drove around like looking, because we thought maybe, you know,
kind of like going from soft to squishy, and it's kind of be a little bit of a trick to get everything all you know, all in one plane, because the last one I did, you could definitely feel where I'd sanded the brass and the orange, because the brass was kind of high and the orange was kind of low. So this time I'm going to try to see if I can't just keep everything all more or less flush. But we'll see. When or why?
Or how? Or
well, I started doing it in high school, just because I've been a knife nut since I was a little kid, and to buy something that you want, you know, it's like you get a custom maker to do it. You got to pay an arm and a leg, and so.
Where do you get the metal for the blade?
There's knife making supply companies. I usually get mine from a place in Florida. I've heard there's places around here that make them, but I mean, Pedro's my test guy, because I mean, he's used this to cut. And it's not stainless, because this is forged out.
That is awesome.
He has used this to cut sod with. Kind of used it for an entrenching tool to dig underneath the
garden tool.
And I'm like,
and it just keeps cutting. Will you compare? Where's this? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I just want to hold them up, just for a sec, because they're completely different applications for those knives. But I can see.
Yeah,
you could use that. You could use that as a machete if you had to.
Oh, I make bigger ones than this even.
Yeah.
I mean, this is about an 8-inch blade. I've made 13-inch blades. I've got a friend that used to teach religious studies in Michigan, and he wanted me to make him a knife so that when they go out ice fishing, he could
cut through the ice.
Chip through the ice. And I saw him a couple of weeks ago, and I said, "So how's the knife working out?" He goes, "Great, man." He goes, "That chops through the ice really good." And I go, "You haven't broke it yet?" It's like, "No, I haven't broke it." So, yeah.
Look at that.
This is
amazing.
One of the payroll. It's like, see, it's got that in between your fingers. That's why it's called a sub-hilt. And
what's that called?
Sub-hilt.
Okay.
So you got that secondary guard on there, and it's not going to slip out of your hand.
Right.
And
oh yeah, that's like a finger stopper.
yeah. Okay. And so I mean, you got this big guard here too, but I still this day, it's like I haven't made one of these for myself, and I need to do that, because I mean, I think they really feel good. But it's like I silver solder this one, because you got. Usually, you know, I slide the whole piece of antler on, and put the cap on here, and you just got to get the antler fit up flat against the guard, and then once you get that, then you take and get the cap fit up here. But this one, I had to get this piece fit up against the guard, and then I had to get the guard, get it sanded down so it fit up against the sub-hilt, and then I drilled a hole here and put a pin through it, because obviously you can't silver solder. This was silver soldered on, this was just pinned on, because you go try to silver solder this on, you're going to burn the horn, and you can see there's a little bit of red spacer in there. So instead of just having to fit the butt cap and the handle against the guard, it's like you got to fit the piece against the guard and then fit it against this side of the sub-hilt guard, and then fit this against there, and fit so. And you can't see any airspace, so occasionally I tell Pedro, it's like, well, okay, I got to take this home and buff it up for you. So he hasn't broke it or chipped it yet, so I figure, you know, I'm not one of the big companies, but I think I'm doing something right. If
Absolutely.
he can cut sod and
Ice.
move earth underneath the
Whack
house,
weeds.
and this thing it's still in one piece. Yeah.
He could slay the dragon with that thing.
Oh yeah.
I think so. Thank you, Jim.
Until you got back, and I said, nope. Sorry, I did this once at an airport, and they never get. They said they'd send it under, it never made it.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were like, they call this other guy over, and they call like a cop guy over, and I'm like, I'm not saying I'm taking it on, I'm saying I'll reschedule. No, come on, it's a good day. You don't really understand. We're going to hold it here for you, and it's going to be secure. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm not partnering with my knife. And they ended up doing this thing where they kind of got it through for me. The boat company got it past security, and they said, well, we'll hold it for them. Yeah, how about if we hold it, blah, blah, blah. And they told me, we'll just give it back to you as soon as we get through security. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure. If they hold on to it, then I'm okay with it. And they went and they gave it back to me. It was all good.
See, it's only just a couple of fingers. I mean, it's not. You can't get your whole
Well, look at
hand
how
on
fat that blade is. Show them how, like, the back of that blade. See how fat that thing is? I've taken that thing on every road trip we've been on for the last, I don't know. When did I get that from you? What's the year on that? 07?
I think September 2007.
Yeah, so since September 2007.
So here's this one.
Every trip we've been on, I mean, I do everything with that thing. I use it.
That's a good
big
size.
Yeah,
big one.
it's not illegal. You know, it can't be wider than longer than the palm of your hand.
Yeah, I think 3.5 inches is the longest. You know, so I mean that's why I call it my non-folding
Let me pull this off. Or Pedro pull it off.
non-folding pocket knife because
3.5 inches is the
That's the
longest
boy
for
knife,
a-
man. That's a bad motherfucker right there. I chop limbs for fire.
Like what you
I don't
carry
even want to say in front of
your
Jim all
Yeah.
the things I've done with that knife.
Concealed.
'Cause Jim
You don't
takes
want
the
to
kind of person that
disrespect the
Jim's
knife.
like, with my knife you did that shit? And he's like, okay, I got to put a new edge on that, man. What have you been doing with this thing? Oh.
All kinds of stuff.
cutting
You want to tell
sod.
because you're like.
Yeah, I cut
disrespected.
sod with this thing. We were taking sod out of yard. You roll it up and you cut it every now and then so you can carry it off it. All kinds of
I'm like,
shit.
well, you know, if you want to pay for, you know, I would go down and get a Costco serrated knife and do that. But
Not that knife.
yeah, this one, I've had more calls for this just because it's such a unique knife, and I've had some people go, well, you can't get your whole hand on it. It's not meant for your whole hand. It's like for 2 or 3 fingers, you know. You know,
Have you shown them that one you keep on your belt?
Oh, no.
But you haven't shown them that one? That's bad.
Okay, we got to take a break
All
here
right.
because I got to drain some.
Get the fire ready. Fireplace.
Hey, here's a little new Billy.
He makes wedding knives for people, like kind of like he's making one just like this for a wedding knife, somebody, but it'll be like the same width, you know, but about that long for cutting the wedding cake and shit. It's fucking so nice. These blossoms, they call those blossoms.
Let's compare these. These are the 2 smallest knives that I've seen, and he's got larger ones.
He for a long time mostly only made those like 14-inch blades. They're like swords, basically.
I saw him.
Yeah,
I saw
he
one.
makes really long. He makes big ass. That one I have has got like, and the thing is, I designed like the one I have.
Yeah.
Designed it. He has a blade book. I picked out that I wanted a Bowie knife shape like that, and then I wanted that sub hilt on it. I saw one like that. Can you do that with the 2 hilt things? Totally cool. What do you call this kind of blade? Is there a name for that? Like that fat kind of short blade?
Oh, I don't know. It's just something I always wanted to make.
I was thinking like that one pocket knife you had. That one pocket knife you had, and you called it something.
Oh, you mean the elephant toe?
Yeah, elephant toe.
Yeah, it's kind of sort of like
Isn't that a
that.
cool name?
But yeah, it's like,
Kind of like camel toe, but not really.
yeah,
Sounds like you want an elephant toe, not a camel toe.
Yes.
Elephants never forget.
well, everybody always told me, because I used to carry a buck knife all the time. They go, well, you make knives. How come you don't carry one of your own? And I'm going,
Good point.
well, because usually everybody buys them from me before I get a chance, you know.
That's a better point.
So it's like I'd always wondered. I'd seen something similar like this in some of the Blade magazines, and I'm like, you know what? That'd be just perfect for, you know, most of the work I do. And I figured I can be. I got Pedro to test stuff, so it's like I'll test stuff too. You know?
We made a silly little video once about this, you know, like I was some dumb hillbilly, and I was like, you know, I use this knife for everything. This, and if it'll, you know, last me for that, it'll last you. You should get yourself a Wernex knife or something like that. It's like, you know. The all-purpose do everything.
And you know, there's only been like 2 people that have ever chipped one, and his son was one of them. And it's like, you know, he goes, yeah, he's like, you know, there's a chip out, can you fix it? I go, yeah, okay. And I looked at it, and I'm going, there's a hammer mark on the back of here, bud. Because he said, oh, I was cutting a stick. I'm going, cutting a stick with a hammer? You know, I'm going, come on, man. I told you when I made this for you, it's like your dad had me make this for you. It's like, and you got a hammer mark on here. And I said, okay. I said, I'll fix it this time. But I said, you go hammering on that again, and next time.
Karen's actually got a Wernex blade up in a tub up in our camping equipment. Hi, Laura. Welcome.
Hey.
Okay.
Hello.
Laura.
You got yours? Where's yours? Oh, yours.
Sorry.
You're on candid
I'm on camera now.
Sorry. No, you're working on it right now.
It's getting sanded.
Badass knife.
I had some
It's gonna look like something besides what you cut
yeah,
out of
like when I first went to my
K-Dog.
K-Dog. What's up?
Oh, super duper.